Welcome to Gospel Diaries, a platform that offers a unique avenue for artists to share their stories, to express their thoughts, emotions, and personal journeys. Today we're with Kimberly Butler.
Hey, this is your girl Kim Butler, the miracle child. Just sitting here thanking God for healing my body of 4 strokes, 3 heart attacks, pancreatitis disease 3 times, kidney disease. Doctor said I couldn't walk or talk anymore, but I thank God for healing my body. And I was just sitting here thinking about a song, and I heard Helen Baylor sing this song, and just a verse or two of it, and it just simply says, if it had not been for the Lord on my side, tell me where would I be? Where would I be?
What's going on, Gospel Diaries? Listen, y'all, I'm in the beautiful city, the magnificent city of Chicago, and I'm with the one and only, the iconic choir directors on the West Side, who's been an inspiration, a constant inspiration in my life. And I'm so honored to be sitting here. And we're going to delve into our gospel diary so you all can learn all about her wonderful works here on the great West Side of Chicago. I'm talking about none other than Miss Kimberly Butler. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
This is like a surreal moment.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, wow. It's like looking 20 years in the future, so to speak. Like from, because we've been around for a while.
A long time.
Known each other for a long time. And we stayed in connection always.
Yes, we have.
Yes. So listen, y'all, before we get started, listen, I must ask you to like and subscribe because this is content from my heart to yours. Now, Sister Kimberly, how have you been?
I've been good.
I've been
good. I've had my good days and I've had my bad days. But I'm doing good in spite of.
You still got the faith, right?
That's right. Still have the faith. In spite of the sickness. Now I've had kidney failure and I'm on dialysis now. But God, I'm still here.
Still here.
God's still good.
Yeah.
After 4 strokes, 3 heart attacks, chronic pancreatitis, diabetes, blood pressure, and now I'm battling with kidney disease.
Wow.
But I'm still here.
So we are here to really celebrate your work. I want people to be able to celebrate the things that you have done because what you've done, you've spoken your passions through your work, and I'm so appreciative. So I just want to start here. Okay, so it had to have been, I want to say 2000 probably. I was about a 16-year-old, young, eager gospel music enthusiast, and just wanted to celebrate people. And I'm still doing the same thing now. And I reached out to Deacon Joseph Manuel.
Yes.
He's still alive. We give you shots out.
Yes.
And he connected us together, and you came out to the show. You had a choir called New Beginnings.
Nobody's for my mind. Not my mama, not my daddy, not the preacher, not the teacher. Nobody's for but mine. Because God already sent his son to die for me.
So let's talk about your humble beginnings. You're from the West Side of Chicago.
West Side of Chicago. Born and raised on the West Side of Chicago. It's been good.
Mm-hmm.
I've been here all my life.
All your life. What church were you raised in?
I was raised at God's Own Nation Pentecostal Church, which is on Laramie, 44 North Laramie, where the late great Bishop Moses Anderson and First Lady Assistant Pastor Marvella Anderson, and we had a great time. We grew up as five. I think I was 5 years old, and my brother Keith Butler was 5, and my baby brother was 4, and we grew up there, and we grew up in the choir. We had a children's choir, and we was raised up singing in the children's choir, and I took interest. I think I might have been 6 years old of playing the drums.
Really?
So I ended up being the drummer of my church, and my brother was the organist, and we just had great time. And plus my mother sung. She's an R&B singer. My grandmother sang. Now my grandfather's a different story. Different story. And we took passion into that after looking at my mom. My mom did a lot of shows with a lot of artists and things like that, and we would be in the backstage, and we would just listen. And then we took a major interest in music. In school, I was a music major in school, in the choir. Grew up there. I was like the little mascot of the choir because I was a freshman, and I just wanted to, play music. I wanted to sing, and I was in the band. I became the drummer in the band, and we just had some good days. We just had some good days, and I thank God for that.
Glory be to God.
I thank God for
Glory
that.
Be to God.
Now not doing music at all now because in here, and it's been really great. New beginning. I wanted to start a community choir, because when my brother started Delegation for Christ, he wanted me to be a part of that, and I was like, no, because no, we didn't get along. We didn't get along. But after I watched him, I watched Paul Turner in Creation.
Way back then?
Way
he was
back
directing?
He was a part of Delegation. Keith was part of Creation.
So Creation, are we talking like early 90s? Late 80s?
Early 90s.
And Paul was a, wow.
Yeah, Paul.
Interesting.
As a matter of fact, I think Paul might have been
the founder?
The first
director.
The first community choir.
Really?
That I knew.
Wow.
Yeah. I played a couple of times for Paul when they didn't have a musician, and I played a couple of times, which I wasn't a good musician, but I tried that. At least the songs that they knew what I knew. But yeah, Paul Turner in Creation, Harrison Spates, SOS. I met them when they first started.
Wow.
I don't even think they had their debut concert yet. I think this is their first time. And I was at a church. I don't know if I had to sing or was just visiting. And I met Chipper, bless his heart. And then I met, who else did I meet? We sung for Mark Hubbard. We sung with Mark Hubbard. Carl Mavens. And a lot more. Started, Keith began to help. Before my first anniversary, I had a couple of heart attacks.
Your first anniversary of New Beginnings that early? And what year we talking?
We're talking about 97 because my mom died in 98 and she was my first secretary.
Okay.
And yeah, she died in 98. It was in 97. I had two minor heart attacks, and Keith took over for about a month. And he, taught my choir, and it was just a great joy to see him wanted to help.
Right.
Wanted to help. And Deacon Manuel was our manager.
Okay. Yeah.
So Deacon Manuel had been with us a long time, along with delegation.
And then remember, wasn't it Virtue? The women were a part of his management, right?
Yeah.
Jayana Sims.
Yeah.
Virtuous Standard or something like that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. They was a part of it. But after that, I went on, and from time to time, I had we've had revivals, we've had musicals, and just a lot of stuff, man. The last time we sung together was our 6th-year anniversary. And a month later, I had the first stroke. Okay. Yeah, cause see, we were engaged with you.
Early on.
Yeah, early on. Wow. And we had some great time. I love to come to you. I was like, if we ain't going nowhere else, we coming to Eric. Okay. So we coming to Eric. Okay. And I remember we went to a church, and you was doing Let's Talk About Music.
Yes.
And we went to a church, and the church looked like it was in the boondocks.
It was in Riverdale.
I was like, oh, where we going? What?
Okay.
But we enjoyed ourselves. Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Wow.
And at that time, I think we were dealing with Anthony McAdory, the late Anthony McAdory. Yeah. But we went out there one night, and it was like wasn't nothing out there. And I'm like,
Deacon, what you get? Where you got me?
What? So I can get him over there.
But you all came from the West, so you didn't normally kind of come to the South Side a lot.
Anywhere we went. Anywhere we went. I had a big car.
Okay.
That was hazardous to my health because it was so big.
Okay.
I would take these kids around in this big car. I make 3 or 4 trips to get these kids to where we had to go until the car broke down.
Okay.
And I got another car.
Okay.
But it was always, and they were faithful.
Yes.
They was faithful young people, and we stuck together. And if I needed anything, they were there. Yeah. And I thank God for that. I was a part of a group that I helped started. I was the co-founder, and it was called JC Ensemble.
Okay.
And the founder was Ron Brown. Okay. His father was the pastor of Pleasant Green on Madison, and we started there. And when we started there, we just had advertisement, passing out flyers. At that time, the internet wasn't too popular at that time. Right. But we passed out flyers and went to stores and put flyers up and stuff. And certain people started coming. Some young people started coming. And so the Lord had led me to branch on my own. So I did. Wow. So when I did that, maybe a year later, my mom passed away. I started from them. So that's how it really started, because we would have musicals every second Sunday, every second Sunday of the month. And that's when we, start creating, and that's when we started our, our audience began to start building. And when I branched out on my own, like I said, when I had my first anniversary, the place was packed.
Yes.
But the young people began to hear about me. And because if I'm not mistaken, I was the only female that had a community choir on the west side. And when they started, some people from my church, people that just heard us, and they got together. I think my youngest member was 10.
Wow.
It went on, and when we met you, we was there all the time, with you. And after that, at our 6th anniversary, it was an unusual service, and I didn't know why. I didn't know why. It was just unusual. It wasn't the same. We had church. Trust me, we had church, but it was just something about it that was so unusual. And then the next month, I had that first stroke.
Wow.
And so I had to give it up. Naturally, when Keith found out, Keith called Deacon Manuel and told him, said, everything that New Beginning has, cancel it. And so after all of that,
yeah. Yeah. You're still here, though.
I'm still here. And next year, I had the second stroke. And after that, I wanted to start it back, and I wasn't able to, and that's what hurted me.
Wow.
I wasn't able to, and then after that second stroke, I tried again, and it didn't work that time. So Brother Caprice Brown had started his choir, and they went over with him. And I don't even know if I was able to go to any of their concerts. I really wasn't able to travel. And then I ended up 2 years later. I ended up having a third stroke, and that third stroke affected my speech. I couldn't talk. I had spent maybe almost a year homebound. And this particular night, my grandparents' church had their anniversary, and my grandmother didn't want to go that night. And she said, "Your granddaddy's going to church tonight. You want to go with him?" I said, "Okay." And so when I went, the mistress of ceremony had called me up to sing, and my grandfather told me, he said, "She can't talk. She can't talk." And sitting there, I heard the Lord say, "Get up, tell your testimony to the best of your ability." And I began to tell my testimony, which a lot of people couldn't understand it and stuff. And in the midst of that testimony, the Lord said, "Sing." I said, "Oh, I can't talk. What you talking about sing?" And I almost said, "The devil is a lie."
Okay.
And I heard it again. He said, "Sing." So I told the musician, I said, "I don't know how it's going to come out." I said, "But I'm going to try to sing." And when I opened my mouth, it scared me.
Okay.
Tell me, where would I be Where would I be if it had not been for the Lord on my side? Tell me, where would I be? Where would I be? Peace out. I'm like, huh? The power of God moved in that place tonight. They had a special guest speaker. He couldn't even preach. All he can do is pray for folks. He couldn't even preach. It was amazing because I was talking to my grandparents, and my grandma said, "Do you hear yourself?" I'm like, "Yeah." She said, "Do you know you're talking plain?" Yeah. I said, "Oh." Like, wow. And it was scary, but it was a joy. Yes. It was a joy, because I got depressed. I wanted to commit suicide. Wow. I was literally in the washroom with my grandfather's razor, getting ready to slice my arm. And I heard God say, "It ain't over." I heard Lorette Clown, Brown Clark sung that song. And that song got louder and louder. It ain't over. And I was like, wow, I dropped that razor and went in my room and just started crying. Because I told God I couldn't do it anymore. Because I was taking so much medicine. I was taking 40 pills a day. Wow. 40 pills. And it was getting to me until I ended up having pancreatitis. And pancreatitis is nothing to play with. It feels like you're almost having a baby. I ain't never had a baby, but it felt that you couldn't eat. The last pancreatitis attack I had, I went out to get my hair done, and I had an outing that night. And when I came home, I said I was gonna, get a nap. And Lisa, my manager, called, and she said, "What time is service?" I told her, and I said, "I'm not feeling good." She said, "Well, take a nap, and I'll call you back in a little while." So I got up, and I kind of felt worse, and it started getting bad. And I said, "Well, I'm gonna go on to the service, do what I got to do, and come home." I said, because if I go and stay any longer, I said, somebody's going to be taking me to the emergency room. And it had rained so hard, about 5 minutes, it rained and thundered so hard. And next thing you know, when I got up, you seen the rainbow coming across our house. And the sun was shining real bright. And so I left. I told my grandparents, I said, I'll be back later. I didn't tell them that I wasn't feeling good because I knew they would have wanted me to stay home. But I had promised this pastor that I would be there. And got on the road, was going to pick up my cousin, and the pastor called. And he said, "Sister Kim," he said, "how far are you?" I said, "I just got on the expressway." He said, "Turn around and go home." He said, "Because there's a leak in the ceiling, and we had to cancel the service." He said, "People from out of town and stuff was coming to hear your testimony." And he said, "I'll call you the next time we have the service." I went home. I called, my people, and told them that the service was canceled. I said, "So relax." I went home. My grandfather knew it was something wrong, but he never said anything. And he said, "Take your medicine and go on to sleep." And I took my medicine,
And when I take my medicine and I'm in pain, it doesn't work. And I was up. My grandfather didn't go to bed. He stayed up because he knew I had to go to the hospital. And at that time, I had went on to bed, and when I went on to bed, I was hurting so bad until I asked my grandfather, I said, it's time. He said, I knew it. He took me to the hospital, and I had it 3 times, but this last time was so severe, and I didn't know why. And they told me that I had chronic pancreatitis, but no cancer. No cancer. And after that, health-wise, I couldn't do it anymore. One Sunday, when I went to church one Sunday, I had went to the hospital maybe two days before the hospital. And I had to go that Sunday after church, and I had to get a blood transfusion. And after I got the blood transfusion, I must have stayed in there maybe a day or two. I started having pain in my left leg. And when I started having pain in my left leg, I didn't know what was going on. And when they took an x-ray, they said we have to do surgery. And the day before the surgery, I had to have another blood transfusion because I was losing blood and they didn't know why I was losing the blood. Had surgery the next day. I stayed in there maybe about 5 days because I ended up having an infection and an ulcer. And they brought me here for rehab. And I've been here ever since. Now I can't walk, period. I've been in a wheelchair for 5 years. But I know before I leave here, before I leave this world, I'm going to walk again.
Yes.
I'm going to walk again.
Oh, yes, you will. I must ask you, Dr. Butler, I'm going to call you Dr. Butler. You know, you've been through so much.
Yeah.
You have faith in God. But you have some people, they get to the point where they feel like they've reached the apex of what they can deal with, and then they turn on God. You know what I mean? So what has kept you with the faith to believe that God can still do what you believe he can do for you?
My grandparents. My grandparents kept me encouraged. Because I was the first one here, and my grandparents was coming to visit me. It got weak, and it still do. I'm not gonna lie, it still do.
Wow, okay.
Wow. I'm struggling.
Wow, okay.
You know, I'm struggling. I get really weak. Sometimes my chest gets so full until I just want to bust in tears. And I know I can't do it because now my grandmother's here with me, and she's my roommate. And I don't want her to see me cry.
Wow.
Because, you know, and then she will get emotional. But she always keep me encouraged. My grandfather always keep me encouraged. My grandfather's also here. He was here the same year I came. I came in September of 2019, and he came in December 2019. And he can't walk. And both of us supposed to be here for rehab. And it gets real bad. It gets real bad. They done cut Social Security. You only get $30 a month now. Yeah. You only get $30 a month. And a lot of stuff that I had to cancel, you know, my phone bill, my phone. Now you got to get a one of those government phones, and because you can't afford it anymore. Um, I have a niece that I thank God for, and she's been there through thick and thin with me. And I have nieces, great nieces and nephews, and they've been there. Mm-hmm. You know, um, and it gets real hard at night. I can't sleep, because just yesterday I told God, I said, I want to go home. Mm. I want to go home. Mm. You know, I looked out this morning. I said, this is Sunday. And I said, around this time, I'm in church. Right. Haven't been to church in 5 years. Wow. A couple of times I've been out to service with my brother's services. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I'm not able to because I don't have bus service. So if I go anywhere, I have to pay for one of those Ubers or Lyfts. I have to pay for that. So it has gotten really, really hard. A couple of times I was ready to end it. And one year, Chief saved my life. Mm-hmm. He saved my life. Really? I was laying in bed, mm-hmm. and I had my phone cord. Mm-hmm. And when I had my phone cord, I put it at the edge of my bed, and I tied it up, and I had the cord around my neck. Mm-hmm. I had it around my neck. Wow. And so happily, yeah, Keith called. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what, it was God, mm-hmm. that made him call. Mm-hmm. He said, what's up? And I lied to him. I said, nothing. And when he called, I took the cord from around my neck. I said, I still have a purpose of being here. I said, because I'm supposed to be dead a long time ago. Mm-hmm. And a couple of days later, I told Keith, I said, when you called, I said, I had my phone cord wrapped around my neck, getting ready to end it. Mm-hmm. He said, how was you going to end it and you in the bed? Mm-hmm. How was you going to do that? He said, you ain't got nowhere to go. And I said, boy, my bed lifts up high. I said, and all I have to do is get out and get on my knees and there you go. He said, girl, and just encouraged me like that, mm-hmm. And he didn't say, well, no, he encouraged me. Mm-hmm. He said, you can't do that. To experience of what I experienced, I'm in here, I'm in a nursing home, and seeing the elderly here. Mm-hmm. It makes it hard, because some of them, is not in their right mind. It's me and another young man, is the youngest one in dialysis. Mm-hmm. And to see the elderly, in pain. Mm-hmm. In our group, we lost one. And, my nurse told me, said he just gave up. Mm-hmm. And I thought about doing the same thing. Wow. And she looked at me, she said, don't give up. Yeah. Don't give up. You can't give up. Honestly, I'm here because of how you impacted my life as a child. Like how you gave me a chance. You was like a supporter, yeah. Like you loved me, and you proved it with your actions, mm-hmm. and you were always kind to me. Yeah. And that's the reason why I started the show, because I wanted to celebrate our community, musicians and artists. And that's why we have Gospel Diaries, so we can document our history and celebrate people. And that's why I'm here.
And it's amazing, like how I didn't know where the conversation was gonna go, but I'm glad that it went here because I know now. I'm here to look you in your eyes to tell you thank you. You know, thank you for thank you for the years of service. You know,
you and Minister Knox.
Yeah. Oh yes, Nathan Dwayne Knox.
And his sister.
Yes, yeah. Evangelist Cornell went from.
Yes, and me and Minister Knox, she will always call and check on me.
Yes.
She will always call and check on me.
Yes.
But Minister Knox, if I was at a program and he was emceeing, he would stop everything. Is that your mother? I'm like, boy.
Okay.
How you see me all the way back there? But I thank God for you and him. Like I said, we've been friends for years. And anything you had, you would call us, and we were there. We were there, and we remind you.
Yeah, and I can tell. I just kind of want to call the roll while we have this, because this is like a nostalgic moment. I remember people like Caprice, Eric Grant. Help me out.
Eric Grant.
Larry Lynch.
Larry Lynch. Keisha Hightower.
Okay.
Marcus Harcum. Xavier Washington.
Did Cornell? Yes, he did.
Cornell Cook. Cornell Cook.
Right. Yeah.
I had so many.
So when you think about, you know, some of the people that you kind of watch grow, and I'm sure that you watch YouTube and Facebook here, like, what do you think of people like Tim White and you know the West Side, the children that grew up that you helped watch? Like, what do you think about their success and the things that they're still doing? Like,
it makes me proud.
Really?
It makes me proud to see them. Tim White. Who else? A lot of them. You know, the brain.
Yeah, I know. Because I'm trying to think now, but I see them.
You know, I made 59.
Okay. And doing fine.
Hello. But see, when the doctor told my family that I wouldn't see 38.
38?
He said I wouldn't see 38.
Jesus.
I'm 59.
Okay.
Hello. Which Keith made a joke a month ago and said I was 69. I said, well, if I'm 69, he's 68.
Okay, because he's 1 year under you.
Thank you. You know, but it makes me proud to see them, and then it makes me sad because I'm not able to support. You know, I'm not able to support. I introduced Tim White to a pastor that I was a part of the church, and the pastor loved him. I invited him to a tent revival, and this man loved Tim. Until Tim was back, I think every tent we had, he was there. What, Sister Jim, where's Tim? I want Tim. I said, I called him, man, let him know. We had Leanne Fane and Tina Watson and a lot of big time Chicago artists. And but it makes me proud. You know, it makes me proud.
Last but not least, well, no, I'm gonna ask you about some songs, but I want to ask you this: what do you want to be remembered for?
My talent, the example that I set, the confidence that I had.
Wow. Yes.
You know, the confidence that I have now.
Yes.
The joy that I had. You know, just so much. You know, that I want the people to remember me.
I love that part. Now that I think this is that what you just said is legendary. Now you can't take it back. You say your confidence.
Confidence.
A lot of people go through life, just life, but they lack the confidence to make it through.
Yeah.
And seeing you don't been on the stage with some of the greatest.
Yes.
I mean, you done your testimony. I mean, you've been in the church, come from a religious home, you know, and here you are. You have that confidence to know that it's going to be all right. I may not see it on this side.
That's right.
But I know.
That's right.
You know, and that's the confidence that we need. That's the confidence we had. That's the confidence of our ancestors.
That's right.
And I appreciate that in you. I appreciate that in you.
Thank you.
1, 2, 3. Can I get like 10 seconds of Amazing Grace from you? Was that the wrong thing?
I can't sing no more.
You can't do Amazing.
The voice.
How sweet. I'm singing for her.
The sound.
That.
That sang. A wretch like thee. I was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Oh yes. Don't tell me you can't sing, girl. I felt that down in my shando.
I ain't sung soprano since I was little.
Was it because I started up?
I wanted to do a CD of a lot of the old traditional songs, but I wanted to pep it up a little bit. You know, and I believe one day it's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, it's gonna happen. If I have to be the one to take you to a studio or bring the studio, you see I'm here now, so you know I will do it.
I know you will.
So be kind and be courteous, and we'll see you all later. Tell the people bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Keith Butler.
Bye,
Who else? Granny.
Granny, Grandpa.